The Decades of Progress Bhutto and Zia. Policies of Zia-ul-Haq, 1977 to 1988. Introduction of Islamization. Zia-ul-Haq introduced Islamization to prove that he considers Pakistan's ideology, and he is a better leader than Bhutto, who only focused on industrialization. He wanted support from the Islamic political parties, such as Jamaat-e-Islamic. In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, and to fight against them and defend Afghanistan, he needed the support of the world's other Muslim leaders, so he took measures to prove himself a true Muslim leader. Hudood Ordinance. He introduced punishments for crimes as per the penalties defined in Islam. After the introduction of Hudood Ordinance, the crime rate in the country decreased. The Shariat Court. He established a Federal Shariat Court to give decisions considering the Quran and Hadith. Zakat Ordinance. He implemented one very important pillar of Islam, zakat, in the banking sector. Its introduction made a deduction of an amount from the savings of banks on every first of Ramadan. It helped the poor and underprivileged Muslims. However, it gained criticism from the Shia community and sectarian division started. Pakistan Studies and Islamiyat. In the education system, Pakistan Studies and Islamiyat were declared compulsory. An incentive of 20 extra marks was introduced for Hafiz-e-Quran students, but it was unfair for non-Muslim students of FSC, Matric, and MBPS. In the universities, a course of Arabic was introduced. Sanctity of Ramadan. The introduction of Sanctity of Ramadan strengthened the fasting behavior among the Muslims. Considering it, special Ramadan transmissions also increased. Economic reforms. He reversed the industry nationalization done by Bhutto, and it helped decrease the burden from the government. The denationalization of industries also helped in attracting more foreign investors to Pakistan. He applied remittance to Pakistanis who went abroad with the help of his policies. The remittance alone gave Pakistan around $1 billion in revenue, foreign exchange improved, and economic growth increased by 6%. Judiciary Reforms. He established military courts which made the judiciary system of Pakistan partial. The judges were required to take an oath to not make any decision that goes against the rule of Zia-ul-Haq. He established Majlis-e-Shura, that was an Islamic parliament, however it did not have any real power. Political reforms. In the Constitution of 1972, he made the Eighth Amendment to have extensive powers that allowed him to dismiss Assembly, Cabinet, and the Prime Minister. The government of Junejo during Zia's rule was a mere puppet, and before him, Zia-ul-Haq dismissed many prime ministers for invalid reasons. In 1988, Zia-ul-Haq also dismissed Junejo for calling an all-party conference to investigate the Odri camp incident that could have put Zia in a tight spot. Junejo also signed the Geneva Accord against Zia's wish. There was no political stability during his rule. Foreign policy. In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. Zia-ul-Haq agreed to help the United States decided to do jihad for Afghanistan. The war led to increased crime rates, guns, and drugs. NWFP had to accommodate and manage around 3 million refugees from Afghanistan. Balochistan was tired of this war and disunity started. The end of the war also resulted in the end of aid from the United States, and there were no funds to care for 3 million refugees. The death of Zia. In 1988, after 11 years of rule, Zia announced to hold elections within the next 3 months. At that time, Benazir Bhutto, daughter of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, also came back to Pakistan. Zia was in a dilemma that whether to postpone the election or not, but before any decision could have been taken, he died in a plane crash. In that crash, Zia was accompanied by the ambassador of the United States, yet many believe that it was an assassination, as the United States was fearful that Zia might prove a threat to the Geneva Accords.